Hello, interweb. It's your boy, Mr. Hosking, and I'm here to talk to you about a bad, bad man. His name is Hitler. Today, I'd like to share with you a little bit of a bio of Hitler and talk about exactly what it is that he wants and maybe some of his ideas that he starts spreading through Germany. Well, the rise of Hitler, the Nazi Party starts getting organized in the 1920s. Uh, Hitler gets arrested for his ideas. He starts a couple of riots in the middle of Munich, a city in Germany. It's called the Beer Hall Putsch, and he's thrown in jail. And he's released after a few months. But while he's there, he writes Mein Kampf, which is his book. Basically means his ideas, like my thoughts. And he starts to outline some of his hatreds and what he thinks needs to happen to make Germany better. Germany's going through that Great Depression that the rest of the world is going through, and they're looking for somebody that's going to make it better. And not only do the Nazis promise to make it better, but they also explain to the people that it's not their fault. It's all of the faults of these other groups of people, these other minorities that we'll get into. So the Nazi Party becomes the largest party in Germany in 1932. Hitler legally becomes the chancellor of the government in 1933. And at that point, he makes a really smart political move. He increases the size of the government to an enormous size. He makes the parliament 450,000 people big. Imagine looking around your classroom when you have 25 or 30 students. Imagine trying to get those 30 students to agree on anything to get it to happen. Now try to do that with 450,000 of your closest friends. It becomes really an effective form of government. The government's larger than the army itself, and it starts to collapse. It's unable to do anything, which in turn causes the government to call a state of emergency, giving all of the power to the chancellor, who's Hitler. So he legally gains full control of Germany by the late 1930s. The Nazi state from 1933 to 1945 can best be defined by the total state techniques that we've talked about a lot of times. It must be really important because I know we've talked about it 4 or 5 times in the videos. The total state techniques, they're propaganda masters. They're able to push the blame on other people and get their opinions out to the people in Germany. They're mass demonstrators. They like getting a lot of people together and creating a fervor. If you've ever been to a concert, a live concert at one of the stadiums here in Raleigh, you know, like people start screaming and getting crazy and like it's infectious. Everybody starts to act that way and everybody starts to really get loud. And that's what happens in these mass demonstrations. He starts to rearm the military. Even though they're not supposed to because of the Treaty of Versailles, they start building up their air force. They start building tanks. They start building warships. They start enlisting people in the army, militarizing the whole country of Germany when they're not supposed to. He also starts to use secret police. The SS use terror, and they spread fear through the country. So anybody that's not with Hitler is an enemy. You can't disagree at all. You get arrested. Churches and youth groups are under the control of the state. They push the ideas of the government. They militarize the country. Hitler youth groups are known for like teaching children, school age, even younger than you guys watching this video, how to march, how to shoot, how to pay attention to the government, that Hitler's always right, that the Nazi way is the right way, that minority groups are to blame for everything that's going wrong. And constantly hearing that as young people, it becomes instilled in their minds. Really, the goal is to create an Aryan racial state where blonde hair, blue eyes is what rules the country. We see an increasing hatred of minority groups. The Nazis push hatred on the minority groups. We all know about Jewish people. They're the focus of the Nazis, but it's really a large number of minority groups. The Roma, or maybe better known as gypsies to us. Communists are going to be included in minority groups and the hatred. Handicapped people, mentally disabled, people that cost money from the state, they're considered a problem with Germany. They're started to be hated on. Twins, anybody that is different than the norm, they're hated on by the Nazis. and it starts to lead to like more and more aggression against them. The first example that we see of this hatred is written in Mein Kampf, the book by Hitler, that leads to Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass, where people run through Germany and break the glass in stores that are owned by Jewish people, and they go in and they steal all of the stuff. It leads to riots and violence against Jewish people. Eventually, the Jewish people being separated from the population, and not just Jewish people, communists separated from the population, the gypsies and Roma separated from the population, handicapped, removed, and put into these concentration camps. And eventually, those concentration camps turn into death camps, and they follow the final solution. The Nazis trying to get rid of these plagues on their society, as they would say. Hitler gets busy in his hatred of the Jews. The Gestapo is created in April of 1933. The boycott of Jewish goods starts also in April of 33. May of 1933, all Jewish books, including the Old Testament, are banned and burned in public displays. In July of that year, 27,000 people are put into concentration camps. By the end of 1938, 600,000 Jewish people are put into concentration camps. By October of 1941, it becomes illegal for Jewish people to leave Germany. Now they have no choice, and they're stuck in this treatment. To move away from the treatment of minorities, what exactly is it that Hitler was looking for? What did he expect from the rest of the world for the German country? He wanted a handful of things. The main idea of it is it's Lebensraum. It's the return of all German-speaking lands. Hitler wants to unite all Germanic people, all Aryan nation people, into one Aryan nation country. He calls it the Third Reich, the Third Realm. The first realm being, the First Reich being Charlemagne, with the creation of the Holy Roman Empire. I totally blanked out on that. My mind froze. Mr. Beller's laughing at me. Mr. Adams is laughing at me. I can't think anymore. The Second Reich being created under Otto von Bismarck, and the Third Reich is what Hitler is trying to create with this perfect Aryan nation, this perfect Germanic state. So the first place that he wants to combine with Germany is Austria. This is known as the Anschluss. In 1938, they peacefully annex Austria. Austria apparently voted for 100%. They voted that they wanted to rejoin with Germany. I think that sounds like a fixed vote if I've ever heard one. The second thing that they wanted was the Sudetenland. They wanted to combine the Czech Republic, part of the Czech Republic, with Germany, so that they can get this Third Reich created. With the Munich Conference between Great Britain and France, they give the Sudetenland to Germany in return for peace. Hitler agrees, but then he doesn't want to stop with just the Sudetenland. So the third thing he does is he takes over the rest of Czechoslovakia. And again, France and Great Britain, we've talked about the word appeasement. They appease Germany. They give in to their bully tactics, and they let them have that. The fourth thing that they want is Poland. So Germany invades half of Poland. They actually give the eastern half of Poland to Russia, and they say, Russia, you can have the eastern half of Poland. And that way we'll create this peace treaty between the two of us. And Russia's like, that's cool, we get more land for nothing. And this is where Great Britain and France will finally declare war on Germany. But this combines all of the Germanic-speaking people in one Aryan nation. They create the Third Reich here, and then Germany's going to continue to expand, and World War I really starts to kick off. I hope this gets you at least some of the mindset of what's going on in Germany under the control of one bad Mamba Jamba, Adolf Hitler. I'm your boy, Mr. Hosking. Thanks for your help. See you later, interweb.